Welcome to the PHNX Daily Bet Show, brought to you by the one and only DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, and leave a 5-star review if you're listening on audio. I'm Shane Diefenbach, joined as always by Johnny Venerable. Hey, Johnny, how was your weekend?
It's good to be back. I'm super excited. It's maybe my favorite week of the year, NFL Draft Week. And I know a lot of people, Shane, have been asking, is this show going to be draft exclusive this week? I said no, but it's going to be your one-stop shop for locks and props pertaining to Thursday night. But to answer your question, I'm doing well. I had a little bit of a hiccup last night as it relates to the Sun game, as I know you did. I put a sizable amount on the Suns money line. It did not work out, but I had the Nuggets money line. I took my winnings. I was feeling really good. I put it on the Suns. That did not turn out well.
Yep, I feel that. I live bet the Suns and got burned. Was expecting another fourth quarter heroic performance, and the NBA officials didn't allow that. I don't want to get too much into that, but because it's been kind of beat to death, but let's just briefly touch on it.
Okay, let's do it.
I did see a tweet about the other games. There were 3 games over the weekend that could have resulted in a team going up 3-1. And all of the games had ridiculous foul calls on the other side of the ball. It was 40-20 around that mark for all 3 games. But the thing I want to combat that with before we just go into full conspiracy theory is a lot of what can be said about that is, you know, the being desperate as a team that can go down 3-1. They tend to be more aggressive. The team up 2-1 can be more complacent and kind of settled in a little more. So take it with a grain of salt, but the foul calls in the Suns game, along with the missed flagrant on Herb Jones, kind of ridiculous, I would say.
Well, I think back to the last season's postseason run for the Suns, and when Chris Paul was out, the other guards stepped up alongside Devin Booker. What we're seeing right now is a lot of these role players, Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges, they're not playing up to their capabilities. They're not playing well enough alongside to pick up the rest of the slack with this team. It's a team that won 64 games in the regular season. I don't like blaming officials. It was a gross negligence last night, the amount of free throws that went in favor of the Pelicans. But the Suns are a better team. And even without Devin Booker, you're leading at halftime. You ought to be able to put that game away. Didn't work out. I felt really good about the Suns being able to take care of business last night and come home and win this sucker in 5 games ending tomorrow. That's not the case. Hopefully we wrap it up in 6. But I mean, if you're a betting sport, I would say that this has a better chance to go 7 games now than I otherwise thought, especially with the fact that, I mean, like John Gambadaro of Arizona Sports said, I mean, if they get to a game 7, Devin Booker is going to try to play, it sounds like.
I don't know if he would.
This season on the line?
Yeah. Hamstrings are weird though. You don't want to make it a lot worse. They're susceptible to
worse than your season being over. I don't know, man.
Yeah, but you should be able to beat this team without him. You just should.
Well, they're not playing well enough right now. It's DeAndre Ayton and DeAndre Ayton only. I mean,
yeah, I think more shots fall. You get the foul calls back. If you go up 3-2, I don't think there's a chance that they lose 2 in a row, even with or without Devin Booker. But we shall see. I'm not worried. I know a lot of people are worried just because of how poorly they've been playing. But the thing I always say is this Suns team has surprised me in so many ways. This is surprising that they're playing poorly, but it will also be surprising when they turn out their best game in game 6 and win by 20 plus, which I think they might do. And right now on the DraftKings Sportsbook app, you can actually bet on them to win the next 2 games by taking the series spread -1.5, and you get them at plus money at plus 140. Wouldn't be terrible, worth a sprinkle. I think they're -275 to just win the series outright. But regardless, you can download DraftKings Sportsbook app today. Use that promo code PHNX when you sign up. Bet just $5 on any team in the playoffs. Win or lose, get $150 in free bets. It's the official sports betting partner of the NBA. And if you're not a new customer, you can use same game parlays, combine multiple bets for a bigger payout, plus place a same game parlay each day with 3 or more legs and get up to $25 back if one leg doesn't hit. So if you want to take a flyer along with the Suns money line and something else you feel confident in, if that flyer doesn't hit, like a Jay Crowder first field goal, you can get your $25 back. So download it today. Use that promo code PHNX, bet just $5 on any NBA team to win their game during the first round of the playoffs. Get $150 in free bets, win or lose instantly. That's promo code PHNX this week at the DraftKings Sportsbook app, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. 21 plus, Arizona only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. New customers only. Minimum $5 deposit. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for more details. Johnny, I know you. I think you've given up on the Nets, haven't you?
Well, you and I put a bet together yesterday, hand in hand, that we
Oh.
thought this series was going to go back to what we say that the Nets were going to win out, and
There,
the
yeah,
series was
4-2.
the series was going to wrap up 4-2. You and I both liked the Nets pretty convincingly. That did not happen. The Celtics are up 3-0. I think this series is done. It's over. It's going to reflect in my picks today. Everybody's dogging on Kyrie Irving. We knew what Kyrie Irving was before this series began. As a flaky dude, right? Kind of all over the place. He can't carry a franchise by himself. We certainly knew what Ben Simmons was, which is just a complete hot mess disaster for both the Nets and the league. And I don't know how they're going to figure that out this offseason. He is not scheduled to play tonight. Here's what I think is being exposed more than anything. Kevin Durant is a superstar level talent. He is not a player that can carry you deep into the postseason to the NBA Finals. With LeBron James, once upon a time, who everybody said is Kevin Durant's counterpart after he beat him straight up with the Golden State Warriors, Kevin Durant can get you to a conference finals, an NBA championship with him being the lone star or one of the top stars. It's not a feasible thing anymore. That's done and dead and buried.
But what would you say is the reason for that? Like, why can't he carry this team? Like, because it's not like he is playing poorly. He's just not shooting the ball.
He's playing poorly. This is his worst series I read since against San Antonio since 2016. I don't think he likes the pressure of being the guy. I think in Golden State he had won multiple crutches in Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. I date back to that time in the Western Conference Finals when they were up on Golden State, that mean Oklahoma City, and they caved and they crumbled. I don't think he's mentally tough. And in that environment, right, where everybody hates this team in Boston, and then the expectations that this team, now with their pieces back in place, with Kyrie Irving playing quote unquote well in all of the games, they should make a run. I just don't think he does well with expectations.
Yeah. One of there's two things that I think needs to be pointed out in this series that I feel like some people aren't saying. First of all, myself saying this is a revelation. Give the Celtics credit, man. The defense they're displaying is unbelievable, and I think that's in part why he's not taking as many shots as he normally does. The ball's being forced out of his hands, and players like Bruce Brown are carrying the load on offense.
He's incredibly uncomfortable,
which I love.
They're too physical for him.
And second of all, I don't think Steve Nash is cut out for an NBA coaching job, especially with a team like this. You can't lose 3 straight in a series in the playoffs with 2 of the best players on the planet. You just can't. I don't care if it's a bad matchup. That can't happen. And this team has looked bad. They look dejected. They can't figure it out. They're getting outmatched, outcoached, outplayed, completely outphysicaled. This series is pretty much dead and buried. And we'll get into what we expect to see right now. We'll pull up my picks for tonight first. I like the under in this game. I think we see a very gross game tonight between Boston and Brooklyn. I think I could see Boston winning like 101-80 and Brooklyn just Patty Mills going for 30 and everything is just gross. I don't want to watch this game tonight. I just don't. So I'm staying away from the spread, but I'm taking the under in this game. And then, Fred VanVleet, we saw what happened to him. He tweaked his knee or groin, I think, and then ripped his jersey and walked off the court last game. Joel Embiid, though, torn ligament in his thumb, shooting hand. I don't expect him to go crazy tonight. I think the Raptors cover. I don't know if they win. I don't know if they extend the game, but I like them to cover in this game. And then I know you like the Jazz tonight, but I just think the Mavericks are bound to win the series. I think we go 7. I think the Mavs win in 7 games. I think you can get that right now on the DraftKings Sportsbook app around plus 190 for them to win in 7 games, which I did take. But right now I'm taking their spread at -3. I just think Luke is too much. I think that the Jazz don't really know how to play basketball with this team right now. Their defense is disgusting, and their offense is terrible. And I just think they don't match well against this Mavericks team.
That's fine. I don't necessarily agree for tonight, but I think this series is destined to go 7 games. I like all the dogs tonight. Give me all the dogs. I think the Celtics series was over when they lost Game 3. Actually, maybe even when they lost Game 1 in a game that they had really convincingly won until that last second field goal by Jason Tatum. So I'm going to take all the dogs tonight. I think the Celtics sweep. I think the Nets go into an offseason of turmoil. If you want to see a shell of a franchise, watch that game tonight where Brooklyn, I predict Brooklyn will quit. I think the Celtics win convincingly. They have nothing to play for. They're not coming back down from 0-3. It's a complete no-show tonight by the Brooklyn Nets. It's my lock of this century. I also like the Raptors to keep it convincing, as do you, for very similar reasons. And then just like flip a coin, Jazz or Mavericks. I know Jazz are on the road. I just like the way they've been playing lately. I think a lot of people just assume that because of the returning star, they were going to fold. But again, I like that series to go 7 games. I just feel like picking underdogs tonight. Sometimes it's easier to root for underdogs, especially when, as we saw yesterday, just feels like the NBA, for better or worse, wants these series to go 7 games. I think all of them, but Brooklyn do.
Love it. Love it. Well, we got some props for you as well before we get there. Johnny, we got a big week coming up, man. There's a lot of stuff going on.
I am feverishly preparing for the NFL draft. Our coverage, we're going to be live at the Ainsworth. It is not a hotel. It is a restaurant in downtown Phoenix, April 28th at 4 p.m. Come and hang out. We have increased capacity. Come and RSVP now. We've got over 100 people ready to hang out with the PHNX Cardinal crew. Shane's going to be there. We're going to be talking sports gambling on site. We're also going to have CB1 of the Arizona Cardinals, Byron Murphy, in-house, photos, handshakes, shooting the shit as we prepare for pick 23 in the Arizona Cardinals. That's this Thursday, April 28th, live at the Ainsworth. We're going to have content out the ass this week. We already have an exclusive breakdown from our own Damian Anderson on Arizona State running back Rachaad White, who I know you love. Shane, does he fit for the Arizona Cardinals? Check that out right now at gophnx.com. You have to be a member, but why wouldn't you want to be a member? 50 cents for the first month, $8.99 for the subsequent months, or become a member for the entire year. Get everything half off and a free t-shirt from our PHNX merchandise locker, just under $60. I'm not going to say I'm exhausted in preparation, but I'm at the point now where we're going all in with PHNX Cardinals this Thursday and our NFL draft coverage, which I promise you, from a Cardinal fan standpoint, it's going to be second to none, folks.
Yeah, I'm fired up. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've been at the Ainsworth I feel like I'm living there for the last 2 weeks.
What room are you in?
Post game. Oh, that's funny. That is
your
funny,
suite
Johnny.
by mine? I told Saul my suite is Suite 69 at the Ainsworth Hotel this Thursday.
Yeah, content coming up the arse, or coming out the arse, not up the arse. We don't want any of that.
I also do want to plug today at PHNX Cardinals Live at 4 p.m. myself, Damian Anderson, and Bo Brock. I'm going to reveal my top 5 Arizona Cardinal big board, who I think are going to be major players for the Arizona Cardinals at pick 23. That's live today at 4 p.m. PHNX Cardinals.
Nice. You're also gonna reveal. We're also probably gonna reveal the updated line on the updated over under on how quick it'll take you to finish a beer, at the Ainsworth.
It also is happening. Yes.
You know, Johnny. I was thinking I might want to go head to head with you.
This is not. I'm not doing it to compete against other people. I'm doing it to compete. Well, no, because I know I can do it. I'm doing it to, I don't know, quiet the haters a little bit. It's funny. I'm putting together the rundown for Thursday's extravaganza, 3 to 4 hour show. The last segment literally says Johnny chugs a beer. It doesn't say Johnny tries to chug a beer. It doesn't say Johnny tries to chug a beer in 10 seconds. Just, I'm going to chug a beer, the last segment, and we're going to put this, it's going to be dead and buried. That those clips, those images are going to be scrubbed from the internet. I'm going to pull Kyler Murray. It's going to be a social scrub. We're going to get that out. I do want that smoke, Sean.
KD of chugging beers. All right. Well, we got some props. No Bogdanovich props today. I don't know if their games will ever fall on the same days because of how the schedule is. But if there's a game 7, the Hawks are pretty much done. I want a Bogdanovich parlay. I want both Bojan and Bogdan to combine. We'll get into that if it ever happens. But here are my props. This is what I like for tonight. little gross, but I'm taking it. Jalen Brunson over 3.5 assists. This man carried the load for the Mavericks when Luka was out. I think he had 28 and 31 in the 2 games that Luka didn't play in. I think he defers a little bit more tonight. He is, after all, a guard, but he's a scoring guard. I think they, try to get the ball out of his and Luka's hands as much as possible. So I like him to have over 3.5 assists. And then the best player on the Brooklyn Nets, Bruce Brown. He's had like 2 30-point games in this series. I don't know why he's the one doing it. He took like 18 shots to KD's 9. His over-under is only 14.5 points. I am smashing this tonight. I think they might get blown out by 30, but as long as Bruce Brown gets his, I'm happy to bet on it. So, yeah, taking Bruce Brown's over.
I feel like I don't hate those. I feel like earlier this NBA season, I did my best to talk up a certain Boston Celtic player regularly before, and it's hard for me because where I'm going with this is 2 fandoms have intersected with each other. And I feel like I had to pick between 2 kids with Brooklyn and Boston. And now I'm at the point where I'm defending Jason Tatum and people are like, oh, well, you were all over the Nets. Shane, I want you to give me some due credit here. And I think Saul blew me shit earlier when we were doing the PHNX tailgate show where I said, I think Jason Tatum's going to take the next step to superstardom this year. And you both laughed at me. The Boston Celtics are going to sweep the Brooklyn Nets tonight, and Jason Tatum is going to hit his over in points. You can book it right
before
now.
Before we get there, at no point did I say that Jason Tatum wasn't a good player.
You didn't. Yeah, we're correct.
Okay. The thing that I hate is the comparison to him and Devin Booker, and I hate his fans. I think he's a fantastic player. I just think he disappears in big moments sometimes.
I'm pretty sure Saul scoffed when I brought up Jason Tatum. You both kind of did like the barf, like when you like that kind of thing. So I'm here to say now, Jason Tatum has officially arrived. Once upon a time, he took a bad Celtics team to the Eastern Conference Finals, and I think pushed LeBron to a Game 7. He has taken the baton. He's stolen it from Kevin Durant. This is his conference now. He's going to do battle head-to-head with the defending champion Milwaukee Bucks in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, Johnny, that was probably the most suspect thing I think I've seen you do on the show. But I will say, oh my God, stop it. I will say that, having Jaylen Brown play good basketball helps you out a lot. Jaylen Brown has been amazing in this series. And him being injured, it's hard to.
Got to give it to day and age, man. Once upon a time, people are like, God, I can't believe you didn't trade these 2 scrubs for my man AD.
Yeah, I really couldn't believe that was a talk that they couldn't coexist together, which never made sense to me because Jaylen Brown isn't like this crazy good scorer like Jason Tatum. He's a good scorer, but he's also a great defender. So
right.
So Johnny, what's his over under? What do you like tonight?
Give it to me. Hit me with it hard. The Boston Celtics, Jason Tatum over 31.5. I think he goes for 40. I think this is a cutthroat mercenary game from the Celtics, embarrassing this Nets team. The Nets don't have a coach, right? They have no team chemistry. I think it's laughable. Kyrie's like, well, they've had since Christmas to jet. Oh, well, Kyrie, where the hell have you been? You're not showing up tonight. It is going to be a pathetic showing. I can't wait to watch. I believe tip-offs at 4 p.m. I wanted the Brooklyn Nets to be all they could be. It's not this year. They're going to have to gut this roster. Ben Simmons, can't wait to see what he's dressed in on court side. I wish I could wager on that via the DraftKings Sportsbook app. But in all seriousness, congrats to Jason Tatum for absolutely stealing the soul of the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what this next series looks like, but we'll talk about that when we get there. As Johnny said, Thursday, big day, draft party at the Ainsworth restaurant. It's not a hotel. And then on Wednesday on this show, we'll be talking to Dalton Cates, who we had earlier in this year to talk NFL draft. So we'll talk about that on Wednesday, and then we'll also bring some of those up on Thursday right before the draft. It's going to be a good time, so don't miss out on all the good content over at PHNX or go PHNX.com. Keep it locked in here at the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. You can follow me on Twitter at Shane D. If you can follow Johnny on Twitter at Johnny Venerable. You can follow the show on Twitter at PHNX_bets. And we'll be back tomorrow, every Monday through Friday at noon right here. Peace, love, and PRA.